Hello, I'm Edward Allport, and here are a few poems about Essex, where I live and which I love dearly. But anybody who comes from the UK will know that there is a certain stereotype associated with people from Essex. And I didn't actually set out to write a poem about the Essex stereotype. What prompted this poem was I learned a new word on Top Gear, of all places. And Jeremy Clarkson described a car as having been vajazzled. And I thought, vajazzle, now that's an interesting word. What does it mean? So I looked it up and thought, okay, that's fine, okay. Illogical and slightly gross, but what a lovely word. And the poem's really accumulated around the word like a pearl around a piece of grit. Anyway, this is what it's like to be from Essex. Essex skulks into the conversation like an urban fox. You become conscious of the raised eyebrow. Essex, eh? Very flat, Essex. No, that's Norfolk, you twat. Not much of it is vertical, that's for sure. Though tiny cliffs on Mersey, too low for lovers' leaps, but quite enough to break a leg, serve to separate land from sea. In men, outsiders look for the pit bull terrier. In women, for white stilettos and vajazzle. But all I ever see are labradoodles, and for the rest, I really couldn't comment. But I can walk this world and feel my roots stretching back to Wivenhoe and Grays, and I can breathe the air in Singapore, and now I breathe for Epping and Walton-on-the-Naze. Now, Essex isn't a particularly spiritual county, but we do have some idiosyncratic gods, and these are the gods of Essex. We have strange gods in Essex. The circle dancers never marked our card, the wildwood never cloaked our hills. Our bones are made of clay, not stone or iron. We look to rivers, gravel, and the sea. But we have gods and demons too. The gods of fire, who fuel boy racers, keep a tender eye on Bradwell. The gods of earth to cup the harvest in their hands. The gods of hearth to supervise the urban sprawl. Our vampires are the sullen sort that suck the colour from a maiden's cheek, retiring to their mud flats at the sunrise. Black Shuck leaves his paw prints in the sand, and Jenny Greenteeth haunts the river weed. Now, this next poem, Samite, is set at Abberton Reservoir, and it concerns the Lady of the Lake who presented the sword to King Arthur. And I'm fairly sure that she didn't live in Abberton Reservoir, but she came to me, or a version of me, and gave me a choice. She came to me at Abberton, high above the rutted lanes where heavy horses once plodded home at dusk, high above the drowned bones of barns and sheds, hedges and discarded bouncing bombs. Clothed in white samite she was, ever the traditionalist, but completely dry, and in her hands she held a ploughshare and a gear wheel, sparkling bright as a new forged sword. Choose, she said, the glory of the farm, the logic of the engine house. Choose the variations of the seasons, the tick-tock mechanicals of industry. But in your life, you choose only once. I chose the gears of industry, the heat, the glitter of cut metal. I chose the making of wonderful toys, knowing I'd always have enough to eat. She smiled and bowed and sank back into the reservoir. That smile. Now I wonder if my choice was true. The land was green, but leaves have never riveted a plate. The air was fresh, but breezes aren't enough to cool an engine. I needed more and more and more, so more I took. I made my choice, but changed the land I guard. Now more choices loom, and all of them are hard. Thank you for listening.